Hello, Graham from ArionGames here again, and today I'm going to be talking about Vikingr. So this is another of my standalone games, one of the smaller lines. It's not Advanced Fighting Fantasy, it's not Maelstrom. Unlike Humanish, which I discussed in the last video, this was written in response to a game that I wanted to play. So I've been watching the Viking series on Amazon, and I thought, yep, Vikings, that's what I want to do. So I looked around at the games out there, and I have 3-4 Viking games on the shelf, but none of them quite hit what I wanted to do. None of them were quite there. They were either too complicated, too simple, they didn't have the right feel, or the mechanics didn't quite work for me, or whatever. So I did what I normally do and sat down and wrote one myself. So I had, at about that time, been working on something for Sorcerer's Virturet, which was based on the D6 system. And I thought, actually, you know, the D6 system will work brilliantly for Vikings. So obviously, in the original Star Wars incarnation, you have sort of the technology and the repair and all the rest of it. Now, all I had to really do was repurpose some of the extra characteristics. You still got your strength, your dexterity, your perception, your knowledge. But what I did was I then added in Seacraft, because of course Vikings are very much a sea-going people, and weird, fate. So from there it was then just a case of producing some skills and so on. And it makes it sound easy. But actually there was quite a lot of work, because what I wanted to do was make a Viking game that would cover anything I might want to do. So I put a whole chapter in on ships and sailing. So you can build a ship very much like a character. Your ship has characteristics, you can make it better, you can improve it. I put in rules for shield walls, because it's all very well being a Viking hero, but what when you get a small warband? So I put some rules in for that. I put some mild supernatural rules in. So when I say mild, I mean this is not D&D magic fireballs, etc. This is things like divination and runes and things like that, getting the favour of the gods. So I put those in. And then I put various enemies in, other human types and creatures and so on. I revamped combat slightly to make it slightly more tactical, give a few more options. And so again, like Humanish, you have a fairly slim book that provides all of the rules you need. Now in some ways, from a business point of view, that's not the best idea. Because what I should have done, if I wanted to make the maximum amount of money, was produce a book with the rules in, and another book with shield walls in, and another book with ships in, and so on. But I've always been one for preferring to have a book. You buy this book, you run your Viking campaign. Okay. Now, I may well produce extra supplements for it at some point. But actually, it's quite hard to think what to produce, because it's all in here. And it was illustrated in colour by the wonderful John Capsilis, who does a whole load of paper miniatures, including the Advanced Fighting Fantasy ones that are sold online. And I've run this quite a few times at conventions, and it always goes down really, really well, because it's very, very easy to pick up, it's very easy to learn, it's quite fast to play. And because it's quite a simple system, you roll your dice, you look at your total, etc, etc, it gives you lots of different options, and it's also quite easy to tweak. It'd be easy enough to pull out the magic side of things. It would also be easy enough to add in D&D-ish races. It would be easy enough to add in fancy magic from the old D6 line. Easy enough to do almost whatever you want with it and get whatever type of Viking game you want. Now, like Humanish, there's no setting here. Okay, so there's no maps, there's no setting, it is just the rule set. Now I'm going to leave it there. It's a very short video, doesn't matter, because it's actually quite a relatively short book, 105 pages, 104 pages. It's quite a slim book, but it's all contained, and it's a fantastic Viking game, even though I say so myself. So until next time, thank you very much and good gaming.